Hello all, welcome back to the lecture series of Python, and in today's video we'll be talking about sets in Python. So if you have heard about sets, so you must have heard about the mathematical sets, and mathematical sets and sets in Python both are similar. Basically, a set is a collection of unique items, but not in any particular order. A Python set is similar to the mathematical definition with below additional conditions. So a set has some properties. So what are those properties? And the elements in the set cannot be duplicates. The elements in the set are immutable. That is, they cannot be modified, but the set as whole is mutable. So what does that mean? Let's say you have a set of some elements. That simply means you cannot update those elements, but you can add more elements to it. There is no index attached to any element in a Python set. Now, when it comes to indexing, Python offers two types of indexing. One is forward indexing and one is backward indexing. But as we mentioned earlier, a set has its elements in no particular order. That's why they are unordered, and hence there is no indexing in Python within sets. So they do not support any indexing or slicing. That simply means we cannot access individual elements inside a set. Now it comes to creating a set. So how to create a set? We create a set in Python with two ways. First way is to use the curly braces, as you can see over here. The curly, so you start your curly braces, then you pass on your elements. Each and every element should be separated by comma. An element can be a list itself. An element can be an integer, a decimal, a string, a tuple, or a set itself. Now, if I execute this, you can see we have our set over here. And if you check the type of this particular set, it will be class set. Okay, so my bad, it should be type. As you can see, class set. Now, as you mentioned that sets are a collection of distinct element, and that simply means set cannot contain duplicates. So over here, I'm creating a set of only one, but one is repeated many times. So this is first way we can with which we can create sets with the help of curly braces. Another way is using the set method in Python. So instead of this, I'm going to pass a list in the set method. You can use this to create sets as well. But what happens when I execute set2? Do I get the same set as defined over here, or something different? If you execute this, you see we get a set with only one element, because sets cannot contain duplicate elements. So no matter what, and no matter how many duplicate elements you enter inside a set, eventually a set will always have unique elements. It will never have duplicate elements. Now, moving on to, I have created two different sets, that is days A and days B. In days A, I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and in days B, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So let me just execute them and let me just print them for you. Days A and days B. Let's say you want to know how many elements are there inside your set. So with that, we can use len function. Len function simply accepts a set. It also accepts a dictionary. It also accepts a list. It also accepts a tuple. So basically, it works similarly with most of the data types in Python. And in set, if you use the length function, it will return you an integer that corresponds to the number of elements inside a set. And if you see days A, so I have 4 days, so it corresponds to 4. So, and one more thing, if you notice, I have defined my set as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But when I print my set, it comes as Tuesday, Monday, Thursday, Wednesday. So this is what we mean by saying that sets have no particular order. The elements can be in any order. Okay. Now moving on to, let's say how you can add elements to a set, right? Let's say in set A, that is days A, I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So they are all weekdays, but I'm missing one weekday, that is Friday. So let's say I want to add Friday to my days A set. So you can do days A. Also, if you want to know what all functions are available for any type, any data type in Python, so you have to create the object for that particular data type. So over here, days A is a object, set object, and then you use the dot operator, and then you enter tab. The moment you enter tab, the autocomplete will shows you the available functions for that particular object. Now let's say we want to add elements. So here we will use this add function, and then I want to add Friday. It will not return anything. Instead, it will actually add it into the set itself. And then you can print days A. And as you can see, we have now Friday in our set. So that's how we can add elements to a set. And let's say I want to add multiple elements to my set. I want to add days A dot add. Let's say I want to add a set itself in capitals, the day's name in capital, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, then Friday. So what do you see? Unhashable type set. So what does this mean by that? It simply means that you cannot pass a set in the add function. What if we pass a list instead? Will that work? That will also not work. So in order to understand how a function works, you can use the help function, which is available in Python. Help function simply accepts a function and it will give you the detailed explanation what does this function actually do. So you have to pass it like this, help. Okay, it's a built-in function. Add method of built-ins dot set instances is basically saying it is a built-in method of set. Add an element to a set. This has no effect if the element is already present. So if you see add an element to a set, that simply means you can only add a single element to a set with the add function. So what if you want to add multiple elements to a set? Let's say we try another function dot update. Will that work? Let me just try 1, 2, 3, and that worked. So in order to add multiple elements to a set, you need to use the update function. With add function, you can only add one element at a time. But in order to add multiple elements to a set, then you need to use the update function. Let's say instead of this, let me just pass a set also so that we can be confirmed about it. That's it. We also added this set to our days A. So it is confirmed now. Add function is used to add one element at a time. Update function is used to add multiple elements at a time. Now let's talk about removing elements removing elements from a set. Okay. So for that you can use the pop function. Days A, that is the set object, dot pop. And then you see it returned 1. Why it returned 1? Because if you now print days A, we don't have 1 over here. So basically, if you keep your cursor on a function and you do shift tab, it will basically show you the doc string and kind of an explanation to the function. To remove and return an arbitrary set element. So basically it says arbitrary element. So the pop function removes any arbitrary element it wants. It has we have no control over pop function. Let's say you want to have your control on what elements you want to remove. For that you need to use the remove function, days A dot remove. Now if I run this in the same way as pop function without passing any value inside the pop function, what happens? It says type error. Remove takes exactly one argument, 0 given. Okay, so it is saying that remove takes exactly one argument. So what is that argument? Again, we will use shift tab. Put your cursor on the function and then you press shift tab. So it says remove an element from a set. It must be a member. If the element is not a member, raise a key error. So it is simply saying we just need to pass the element we want to remove. I want to remove Friday. And if Friday is not present in days A, I will get a key error. And if Friday is present inside the set, it will remove it. So we get a key error. That simply means we do not have Friday in capital in days A. Let's say we have Thursday. We do not have Thursday also. We do not have Thursday also. Now let's talk about 20. It removed 20. Now if you print days A, sorry, print days A. Now we do not have 20. So that's how you can use remove function. Pop function removes arbitrary element. Remove functions accepts the element you want to remove. But let's say you want to know if a particular value or a particular member, sorry, a particular element is actually a member of the set. For that, you can use the membership operator. There are different operators available in Python, and I have a detailed video for those as well. You can find the link in the description below. Let's say I want to see if Monday is the member of this particular set or not. So how do I check that? You just type the element as it is present inside the set. It is present inside the set as a string, so I have to use it as a string only. Then you use the membership operator, which is in operator, and then you pass the then you pass the object days A. So it returns true. It simply means Monday in days A. Is it true? Yes, it is true. Let's say I want to check MON, that is capital. It is false. So this is what we call the membership operator. So that's how you can check if an element has a set, if an element is present inside the set. Now, again, let me just print out both the sets, days A and days B. Okay. Now let's say you want to add both these sets. For that, you can use union, days A dot union days B. And as you can see, we have all the elements that are both in A and B. But if you see, Monday is in A and Monday is in B, but we are only getting one time. That simply means, again, back to the definition of the set, that simply means set contains only single elements even after the union. It does not contain duplicates. Now, let's say you and let me just tell you guys, this is just returning this. It is not storing anywhere. So in order to store it, you have to pass it into another variable. Now let's say you want to see the common elements between two sets. For that, you can use the intersection function. Days A dot intersection days B. The intersection function gives you the common elements of the sets. That simply means the elements which are present in both the sets. So these are the elements that are present in both days A and days B. Okay, that's how intersection works. Now let's say you want the elements which are not in one set but are in other set. So what you can do, we can use the difference function. Days A dot difference days B. So what does this difference function do? It will return all the elements which are in A but not in B. Let me just repeat it again. The difference function, it is similar to doing A minus B. Sorry, days A minus days B. If you use the subtraction operator, it will return the same result. But I want to give you an explanation and hands-on practice with the functions. That's why I'm only using functions. So days A dot difference days B, it will return all the elements present in days A which are not in days B. And if you execute this, these are the only elements which are in days A but not in days B. And if you change the positions of the set, the output will be changed. Now it is days A, days B minus days A. That simply means it will return all the elements present inside days A which are not in days B. Sorry, my bad. It will return all the elements present inside days B which are not present inside days A. And as you can see, there are only two elements which are in days B and not in days A. So that's how the difference function works. Now, okay, let's say you want to see the elements which are not common. The common elements can be represented and can be find out with the help of intersection function. Now, let me just show you another function which is called symmetric difference. Dot symmetric underscore difference days B. And if you see, it returned 10, 2, 3, 30, Saturday and Sunday. So symmetric difference, it basically, if you see intersection, it only does not have these values because these are the intersection. Symmetric difference simply means those elements which are not in the intersection of of those sets. So all the elements except the intersection elements. Simply means all the elements. Symmetric difference returns all the elements of two sets which are not in both the sets, uncommon elements in a very simple language. So that is how you can use symmetric difference. Now, more functions to cover. Again, days a dot tab discard function. What does discard function do? And you must have figured it out. It removes the elements from the set. Let's say Saturday. And if I print days A does not have Saturday anymore. Oh, sorry, my bad. Days A didn't had Saturday, so it didn't remove Saturday. And that's the best part of discard function. So if you remember, when you use remove function and you pass a key, it returns a key error if the key is not present. Here, discard function will not return any kind of error. Let me just remove Tuesday instead. And now Tuesday is not here. So that's how you can use discard function to remove the elements from the set as well. Now coming to more functions, tab is subset. So basically, if you want to see if one subset is one set is a subset of another set. So being a subset simply means all the elements of A are present in B. That is the meaning of subset. So it is false. Let me just create two sets so that you can have 1, 2, 3. Then I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you see, all the elements of A are present in B. So A is a subset of B. Is subset B. It is true. If you see, B has all the elements which are in A. So B is the superset. And in order to check if B is a superset, you can use the superset function. And as it is. So when you say A is a subset of B, that simply means all the elements of A are present in B. If you say B is a superset of A, that simply means all the elements of A are present in B. Now let's say, and let me just create one more set. See over here 10, 20 and 30. Now if you see, B and C does not have any elements in common. So those sets which does not have any elements in common are called disjoint sets. Disjoint set simply means that the set has no element in common. And in order to check if B and C are disjoint, again, is disjoint C. It is true, because if you find out intersection of B and C, you will get an empty set. That is empty set. So that is the functions we have covered in this video. We have covered intersection, we have covered the concept of subset, superset, we have covered the concept of difference and update, how we can use the union function, and how we can find out if a element is present inside a set or not. I hope you were able to understand all the functions in this video, and if you like it, please share it with your friends so that they can also have knowledge about sets in Python, and it will reach to more people. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.